At 9:30 a.m. on May 28, 2000, 4 nurses from Kumamoto City got into a car and went for a drive along the coast in Amakusa Town, Kumamoto Prefecture. They were checking the area out for a future company trip, and they were supposed to return later that day. But when they didn't, a hospital official reported to police that the 4 women had gone out and not yet returned. A search party was organised, and at roughly 1:30 a.m. that same night, a police officer found the remains of their car lying at the bottom of an 80-metre high cliff. It appeared the car had driven over the edge, and it was just the beginning of what would turn into a bizarre and long drawn-out legal battle. One of the women in the car was the wife of the president of a medical corporation in Kumamoto. She was 61 at the time of the accident. The other 3 nurses were all section heads of the roughly 300 nurses who worked at their hospital, placing them in the upper echelons of the hospital's hierarchy. The coast they were driving along at the time of the car crash was claimed by many locals to have the best view in all of Japan. It was, for these 4 ladies, also their last view. But why? What happened? Little did anyone at the time know that it would also turn into several bitter and lengthy lawsuits. After leaving the hospital at 9:30 that morning, the women arrived at Nishibiratsubaki Park at 12:45 p.m. After eating lunch made by the director's wife, they got back in the car and again drove along the coast. One of the nursing directors was in the driver's seat. The 4 women were supposed to return to the hospital that evening for dinner with the board chairman and others. Yet, by 5 p.m, no one had heard from them. Attempts to call them went unanswered or to voicemail. Sensing that something was wrong, the board chairman contacted the police. It was at 1:30 a.m. that same night that an officer found the car. All 4 women were dead. The scene was initially treated as a terrible accident. It appeared the car had managed to find a 2.5-metre open section of the guardrail and driven straight through it, plunging the car and the women to their deaths. This was believed to have happened around 2 p.m. that day, shortly after their lunch and several hours before the board chairman alerted the police. The case would have ended as nothing more than a terrible accident. Another horrifying yet regular car crash, if not for one small detail. A pair of tabloid journalists who decided to turn it into something much, much bigger. On July 13th, 6 weeks after the accident, 2 reporters from Focus magazine decided to visit Kanagawa to look into the accident and see if there was perhaps an interesting article in it. I'll refer to the journalists as A and B throughout the rest of this video. Both A and B were 31 at the time, and B had a history of working in women's tabloid magazines before moving to the editorial department of Focus. The journalists had heard of the accident through the insurance company of the hospital director's wife. She had a massive 5.79 billion yen insurance policy in her name if she happened to die in some sort of disaster. Naturally, the journalists wanted to dig into the case and uncover if anything shady was going on. Had the nurses, perhaps, been murdered for the insurance money? The journalists interviewed the insurance company, police officers, and even the families of the nurses who died. They also gathered newspaper articles on the accident and visited the site in question. Once there, B noticed the opening in the guardrail and felt there was no way the driver could have mistakenly driven over the edge, as the official report stated. Although the curve was sharp, there were curve mirrors placed along the road, so there was no way someone would be able to mistake the road as continuing straight, especially in broad daylight. Upon discussing matters with the editorial department, the decision was made to go ahead with the story. On July 19th, the July 26 edition of Focus was released, with an article titled, Suspicious. 5 billion yen insurance money. Traffic accident death of Kumamoto Hospital owner's wife. Tabloid magazines are obviously not bastions of truth and literally survive off creating scandals and conspiracies, but most people pay them little serious attention. Yet A continued interviewing nurses at the hospital and sending the apparently salacious information back to headquarters in Tokyo. Week after week, the magazine pumped out articles designed to sell more magazines and, to put it politely, not check the veracity of the claims they made. Some of their baseless claims included stories that the hospital director was sleeping with each of the other 3 nurses who died in the car, and he somehow orchestrated the accident, either by blackmailing them or simply ordering them to do it. As it turned out, the other 3 nurses also had insurance policies, but these ones were corporate, meaning the hospital benefited from their deaths and got a great sum of money from them. As a result of this lengthy campaign accusing the hospital and the hospital director of essentially murdering 4 women for the money, the insurance companies involved decided not to pay out. This also destroyed the hospital's reputation. They saw a dramatic decrease in the number of patients, numerous staff members quit, and the higher-ups suffered terrible psychological distress from the magazine's smear campaign against them. Unable to bear it any longer, in September the medical corporation and board chairman decided to sue Focus's publisher, Shinchosha, for 550 million yen in damages, plus an official apology published in their magazines. The defendants were journalists A and B, and the editor-in-chief, who decided to run with the story. The journalists were unable to provide a single piece of evidence corroborating the claims that they made in their articles, relying entirely on hearsay and rumours from anonymous nurses working in the hospital. As such, the courts ruled against them and, in April 2002, ordered Shinchosha to pay over 13 million yen in compensation. They appealed to the Tokyo High Court, who again ruled against them, and this time upped the compensation to almost 20 million yen, a record at the time. The magazine's willingness to publish and continue publishing stories without evidence turned the victim into a perpetrator, and went on to affect the hospital as a whole. During the trial, the head of Focus magazine held a press conference and announced that the magazine would cease publication. The damage was already done, and there was no saving it in the public's eyes, regardless of the verdict. After they lost, the editor-in-chief was also humiliatingly demoted to clerical duties. He had messed up, and he had messed up badly, and expensively. But it wasn't yet over. The director was also still in a legal battle with the insurance companies, who refused to pay out after Focus's claims that he had somehow killed the women. It wasn't until May 12, 2003, 3 years after the accident, that the courts ruled the insurance companies had to pay out. With Shinchosha losing their case, the judge ruled there was no reason for the insurance companies to keep withholding their payouts, and they were forced to pay as well. Naturally, while these court cases were going on, the story hit Ni Channel, and the same rumours started to spread there as well. A copy-paste started spreading around the boards talking about the darkness of society, and a strange incident in which a car drove through a tiny gap in a guardrail at 80 kilometers per hour, sending a group of nurses crashing 50 meters to the ground below. These nurses were insured for roughly 6 billion yen, and so the nature of the accident was suspicious. The strange incident was naturally this same car crash, although a few of the finer details were off. In the end, the accident was just that, an accident. Police were never able to determine why exactly the nurse drove through the opening in the guardrail, rather than turning the corner, but the fact remained that she had. Maybe she was distracted by her phone. Maybe she was deep in conversation with another nurse in the car. Maybe she was daydreaming, or maybe she was tired. Either way, she missed the turn, and it resulted in 4 deaths, including her own. Salacious rumours then turned the horrific accident into a several-year-long court battle with various parties, all of whom lost, because nobody bothered to check the facts. A good warning to not always believe what you see and hear, especially when it comes out of a tabloid. But what do you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.